So, believe it or not, my slammed Honda the jack won't clear it. So, we gotta back up onto this piece of wood. Gotta be precise. Let's see if I can actually do it. So I have this to actually break that free, and then I have a metal pipe on the ground for leverage, because it's the only socket, since it's so thin, that will actually fit in my wheels. I'm gonna go ahead, gonna break them free. We're gonna jack up the car, and then see if we can fix this seized caliper. Damn, boss. Look at the treads on that bad boy. Alright, so we actually got the wheel. We got the wheel off the car, which is cool. So I'm gonna be throwing new lug nuts, because look at the old ones. Total garbage. So I'm gonna be spending like, I don't know, 80 bucks, 100 bucks. Buy some nice lug nuts for this car, because I want to make it look prettier than it is. So new lug nuts are gonna go on. I have to actually buy them, so for now I'm just gonna rock those. So that's also the reason I'm not gonna be cleaning this wheel today, because right now with the wheel off, I should go around the inside and, you know, clean the whole wheel properly, but I'm actually not going to, because I'm gonna wait till I do lug nuts and do it to each other rim. So the main thing we're trying to fix today is the caliper, which is sticking. It smelled like fish yesterday when I drove it for the first official test ride. So my theory is one of the pistons is stuck. I'm gonna look a little bit more into it, see what I can find, see if it's either a stuck piston or if it's the slider, but I guess we'll find out. I guess just to show you guys what I mean by it's stuck, you can see the pad right there is rubbing right on the rotor. So even when I'm driving, that's robbing me of a ton of power, and it's making my brakes overheat really bad. You guys can see right in there, it's actually on the rotor, and believe it or not, the brakes aren't on. So that's a major problem. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna figure out what's causing it. All right, so right now the current objective is to use a 17 millimeter. We're just gonna get that. We're going to take off the caliper because I want to start by checking the slide pins. I don't know if they've ever been checked in this car. So we're gonna go ahead. There's a bolt on top, and I'm not sure if you guys can see it. There's a bolt on the bottom too. And basically those two bolts are what hold the caliper on. If you're looking to do pads and just the pads, you would undo this bolt on the top, and then this would essentially slide out like it pivots on this bottom bolt right here. This would slide out, you'd put in new pads, close it up. But we're going to take the whole caliper off and leave the brake line connected so we can check out the slide pins, take them off, see how rusty they are. If they're not rusty, we're going to grease them up and send them back in. I guess we'll see what happens. I'm not actually too confident in my ability to get those bolts off with just a wrench, but I guess we'll see. So I tried to use just the 17 millimeter. So I can't really get the leverage I need just because it's an awkward position and it's a very tight bolt, as it should be. It's holding my brake caliper on. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna show you guys a fun little trick to be able to get more leverage on your bolt, because obviously the longer of a shaft you have that you're pulling on, right? You're gonna line it up with the bolt. And then if you set up so, you can set it up like this, and then it gives you more leverage to actually pull. I'm still not sure if I'll be able to get it off, but we'll give it a go. I don't like this ratchet, this wrench setup, because this one's pretty... Oh! Alright, so we got that one off. Now as you guys can see, there is no way I would have gotten it off without that trick. So essentially you could just put it in here, And if you're loosening, you're going to grab this one. You're going to put it on like that, and you're going to pull. If you're tightening, you could put it on, and you're going to push. But of course, we're loosening, we're not tightening it yet. So, now, I don't really want anyone to mention how rusty everything under here is, because I do plan on putting Megan Racing coilovers in. I'm going to lower the car another 1/2 inch to 1 inch. So I'm already replacing the coilovers. I've known this since I bought the car. There's a yellow jacket on my phone. So, like I said, I'm already replacing the coilovers with Megan Racing coilovers, because then it'll actually be a brand. I don't know what's in here now, and I don't think I want to know, considering I'm trusting my life with it. I want to do a big brake kit on the front and back. It should be a 14-inch rotor or a 16-inch rotor, which is a huge upgrade. It'll also be a 3-piston or 6-piston caliper setup. It's coming off of a newer Acura TL, I believe. Don't quote me. So I have to double check the compatibility with that. But hopefully, if that goes well, we'll have insane stopping power out of this car. I'm also going to do I'm going to do tie rods. I'm going to replace every inch of suspension in this car, because I want it to be I don't want to say showroom spec, but I want it to be clean. And right now, it ain't clean. Check out, again, hoping that's not a mistake. Oh, finally got the caliper off. Alright, so I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna wait till my dad gets home. I'm gonna see what he wants to do. If he wants to just replace this caliper. Like I said, I do plan on doing a big brake kit, but if I can get one cheap enough from like O'Reilly, yeah. My parents are out shopping right now, so I guess I'm gonna wait, see what they want to do. So I gotta say, this is probably the first time in my life that I'll ever have used brake clean for actually cleaning brakes. So I'm pretty stoked for that. We have the slider pins out with a really destroyed boot. I guess I'm just gonna send it. I'm gonna clean these off, clean off the inside here so it actually slides, re-grease it, and hopefully that was our issue. Alright, so besides the fact that my pads are totally destroyed from me overheating them, whatever, pads aren't expensive and I want to do a big brake kit anyway. I'm just going to run them for now. My main issue is it was sticking. I cleaned up the slide pin that's still on the caliper. I'm just finishing up this last one, making sure it's as clean as possible. I want to make sure it doesn't have any chance of sticking again. And then we're gonna grease it up, put it back in, and hope for the best. That's pretty much all I have to do with this car, just hope for the best. So, with a little bit of persuasion, a C-clamp, and using one of the brake pads, we're able to push in the piston all the way. I guess it was just frozen, but I do want to run a new brake setup as soon as possible. Get rid of every rusty component in this car. So I'm working on finding a solution for that, because once I have big brakes, it'll stop better. I won't have to worry about sticky pistons or anything. And I trust this engine a little bit, so I'm willing to put some more money into the chassis for now. But I do want to run a big brake conversion off of a newer Honda or Acura. I know they bolt right up. I just forget which exact model and year. So I'm going to run that. I have to grease up all those parts right there. That's what the two pieces were, because we lost the lid to that. Gonna grease up all the parts, bolt it all up, and hope for the best. All right, so we got the pistons squared away. I greased up everything, just bolted it all back together. Tested out the brake pedal. It feels great, feels like it should. And I just used a flathead screwdriver, put it in between the studs and turned it, in neutral of course. And it feels like it's rotating fine. I'm gonna take it for a test drive. So this car had a problem with the idle, where basically it would start, it'll idle. If I'm cruising around and it gets hot and I pull up to an intersection, it'll just stall. So we adjusted the high idle valve, I believe, which should make it so it'll idle a little bit higher, but it won't stall out, which I'm okay with. Again, if you guys follow me on Snapchat, which you should, linked in the bio, or it's up on screen right now. Follow me on Snapchat, you guys will always stay up to date with my cars. The main issue with this right now is the engine is a total piece and the chassis is rusted. I'm working on it. I'm gonna go ahead and build the chassis, and then I'm gonna, over the winter, I'm going to get a K24 with the Japanese head and a big old Hiroshima hairdryer on that bad boy, so I can be spooling up like 15 to 20 pounds of boost. I really want to be putting 300 wheel in this car, and I really want to make sure the chassis is more solid than it is. So that's the current plan. All right, so I'm actually gonna make it into a separate video. This is a totally new day. We actually got the car's brake. That one caliper was frozen. We fixed that. There is another caliper that I think is slightly stuck. It might even be the e-brake. So we're gonna work on that. I'm not gonna make a video on that. I just wanted to show you guys a little bit of working on this car. You know, actually produce a video, you know, once every 2 weeks. That's my special. So right now we are actually working on finalizing the idle adjustments. We've been turning multiple screws and adjusting everything under the hood of this car so it's actually drivable. Still has some minor issues, but at this point, I'm just waiting till the engine says a good knock-knock joke so I can put a K-series in it. The plan is to do a K24 with the fancy head that has actual VTEC and then turbo it. That's a little bit ways away, so for now, I'm just gonna rock this car how it is, make videos with it, and go to meets until she blows up. But until then, this is how we are. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, be sure to hit that like button. If you guys want to stay up to date with the Prelude, the daily, or the motorcycle, be sure to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. But like I said, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.